The formation lap gets underway then, and it's going to be interesting today to see how the dry conditions could affect the lifespan of the tyres. We're almost ready to start the race as the cars take their positions on the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
Here we are then, everybody. Welcome back to the Motive Racing channel for the Purple Sector Formula One League here. This is round 21 of this 24-round season. Coming into tonight, we have got Glenn leading the way by a very, very long way here in the championship. If he is 78 points clear after tonight, he is the champion of the Purple Sector F1 League here for season 12. As here we go, we're lights out and away we go. And Klein gets a good start there from pole position. Justified tucks in there. You've got Davidoff there moving ahead of Steve Faulkner up the inside of those. Steve Faulkner trying to keep it around the outside. In the background there, somebody's wide. I think G.C. went off the track a little bit, but through the center S's and down this little straight we come for the first time. It's Glenn leading ahead of Justify with Davidoff there having made that move stick there on Steve Faulkner up into third place. Rex wanted behind him. Oh no, an ice wolf in the background there. Going into the barriers. He's had a collision there, I think, with either Street Boy or T. Carnage here on the opening lap. So we've already got a safety car, so Ice Wolf out of the race here on the very first lap. What a disaster there for him. But currently it's Glenn leading ahead of Justify with Davidoff there in third place and C. Faulkner P4. But to revisit the championship situation here tonight, guys, the situation is Glenn leads the championship by 86 points. And if he comes away from here tonight with a 78-point lead, well, actually needs 79 points in fact, then he'll be the champion of the Purple Sector F1 League. If he wins the race tonight, he's the champion, no matter what happens. So basically, Glenn needs to carry on doing exactly what he's doing at the moment. And if he takes the checkered flag first here tonight, he is the Purple Sector Season 12 champion. So a lot on the line here, but all to play for here. I'm sure that the guys behind would really love to extend that championship a little bit here. But yeah, long way to go here tonight. Here we go then, guys. Confirmation safety car's going to come in this lap. Glenn, the potential champion-elect, leading them around here, the final corner. And he's going to be the one to get us underway here. As I said before, if Glenn is to take the win in tonight's race, he is the champion of the Purple Sector F1 League here for Season 12. So a lot riding on this tonight. Glenn, who obviously made his debut in the Red Arrows League last night. I was commentating at Las Vegas, did a great job in the first race, in the sprint race. But things unfortunately went a bit peak on for him, as we see C. Faulkner there getting ahead of Justify on this restart. C. Faulkner was not hanging around there at all. Davidoff had already got ahead of Justify, so Justify sleeping a lot on the start there, as Judo Seedor's moved ahead of Oliver up into P6 as well. We can see now Oliver's having to defend from White Shadow, who's looking to the outside. Can White Shadow get this around the long way there? Oliver squeezes him to the outside, and there's no way around there for White Shadow so far, and has to sit off a set for 8th place at the moment. But it's Glenn out the front leading the race. He's already got almost a second of a gap here over Davidoff, who's trying to give chase and trying to keep this championship alive for the time being. As we see Street Boy has moved ahead of White Shadow. White Shadow's dropped behind T as well, so White Shadow down to P10. Not sure what's happened there to White Shadow, but would appear that there's some kind of ailment with that car, because it's not going, well, it seems to drop back rapidly. But Glenn's already got the gap at over a second here to Davidoff. That was crucial there for Glenn, because that means that now he's out of the DRS threat from the Williams, so that will be an extra morale boost here for the Red Bull driver as he comes around to complete lap 4 of the race. Obviously this is the only the second racing lap that we've completed here. We've had a lot of this race on the safety car so far, but there they all are coming into turn 1 here. So DRS will be enabled this time. That will just about, I think, maybe allow Davidoff a crack, although he might be a little bit too far away. It's going to be close, but we just about held on to DRS there to Glenn, which could be crucial here in the narrative of this race. In the background there, we've got Justify having a look to the inside of C. Faulkner, a little bit too far away there going into turn 4. In the background here, we've got Oliver here attacking on the back of T, but a little bit too far away there as they came through that corner. So Oliver there holding on to P9 at the moment, not able to move up into 8th place. But Glenn here still out the front. We see Oliver has moved now ahead of T up into 8th, so he's made that move through the next corner into turn 6. And Oliver can now try and chase down Street Boy, the Ferrari, who's a couple of seconds up the road from them, running in 7th place. So obviously now Oliver can focus on what's up ahead. But in the meantime, it's Glenn out the front with over a second of a gap here over Davidoff. So he's really settling into a bit of a rhythm at the moment, which is good to see. And Davidoff here has got C. Faulkner and Justify within a second. Justify might have a run here on C. Faulkner, but C. Faulkner's got the DRS on Davidoff, which is going to help him to be able to defend coming into turn 1. And he's a little bit too far away from Justify for Justify to make a move there. In the background there, you got T still well within a second of Oliver at the moment, as we've got a penalty there being handed out to Street Boy. So Street Boy has overstepped the track limits just a little bit there, which is unfortunate. So obviously he'll need to keep an eye on that to avoid any further discrepancies over the course of this race. But in the meantime, it is still Glenn who's controlling things out the front with a 0.6 of a second gap over Davidoff at this moment in time. There's C. Faulkner and Justify, the top 4 breaking away a little bit from the others here. You got Rexy Boy there ahead of G.C. with Street Boy a couple of seconds behind them with his penalty, and then Oliver, who's managed to gap T by just over a second since making that move a lap or so ago. And White Shadow Hole is now piling the pressure on the back of the Mercedes driver in a battle for 9th place here. T without his teammate Matty Pitt for tonight. Matty Pitt not with us, unfortunately. The reigning champion doesn't get to witness the a possible handover of the championship trophy, which is a shame. But there's no guarantee that Glenn will do it tonight. Obviously, could still be rolling over to next week, as we see Davidoff down the inside there making the move and giving himself the best possible opportunity here to keep that championship fight alive going into next week. He now leads here coming out of the centre S's. Justify in the background there has moved to the C. Faulkner as well, so a couple of position changes going on here out the front of the pack. But Davidoff is your new race leader as they come into turn 5 here on lap 7 of the race, as we've got T has managed to gap White Shadow a bit, because White Shadow has got himself a penalty. So a 3-second time penalty there for White Shadow Hole, and now 2 drivers sporting a badge of track limits. But nonetheless, the top 3 have broken away a little bit from C. Faulkner here. C. Faulkner now starting to drop off of them ever so slightly. The gap over a second between Justify and Faulkner. Let's see if C. Faulkner can hold on to these 3 coming in towards this final sector here. But Davidoff, Glenn and Justify currently showing that they are the ones who have got the pace over everybody else so far here in this race. C. Faulkner has duly tried to stick to the task, but so far has just lost touch ever so slightly here. Did he keep DRS? No, he's lost the DRS. As we see Glenn there down the inside of Davidoff into turn 1 and makes the move once again here. So swapping and changing right now between Glenn and Davidoff. It's to be expected around a track like this. You find the DRS is pretty powerful, and it can be a case of being in the right place, right time. There's one or two tracks on this calendar where you find that whoever's behind at the start of the lap is going to be ahead by the end of the lap. It's just one of those things. But timing is everything. It's almost like NASCAR. This track, you kind of just have to be in the right place at the right time. It's about timing your run and basically going all in at the right moment. So the last corner, if you get a good exit out of Youngsal, you get a good run up the hill and you can maximise the slipstream and pretty much guarantee an overtake on the car in front. But if you leave it too late or if you go too early, sometimes you can even get slipstreamed yourself. But yeah, it's crucial that you basically have to pull out the slipstream at the right time. You have to do everything right. There's no guarantee, but you can give yourself a very good opportunity nonetheless. As we see Davidoff here coming out of the final corner, Justify and Glenn in tow, but Glenn jumping down to third place over the course of this lap, so he's now got the Williams and the McLaren in front of him. As Justify making a move down the inside into turn 1, and it's now in P1 here in this race. Davidoff is now going to be in the meat in the sandwich here between Justify and Glenn. C. Faulkner has managed to get back within DRS here, which is great for him because he's now back in this fight for the win. But Justify leading coming down towards turn 5 with Davidoff and Glenn still right there with him at the moment. So here we are then, lap 9 of 36, about a quarter of the way through this race at the moment. Street Boy has gone around the outside of G. C. up into P6 and is well within a second of the car in front, Rexy Boy. So it could be certainly a battle developing here between these three. Obviously 5th, 6th and 7th places. They're not really close to the top 4, but they're well ahead of Oliver running in 8th place. So they should pretty much have this battle for P5 to themselves here, these three. So Street Boy here is eyeing up a move on his teammate Rexy Boy, his Ferrari teammate Scuderia, currently battling out in the mid-pack at the moment. And Street Boy is going to have a good chance here, I reckon, coming through down the start-finish straight. He'll get the DRS. He's going to be closing and closing and closing. Doesn't really go to maximise the slipstream there. Was pretty much out of that slipstream a long time before he made that move. But nonetheless, Street Boy's made that move up into P5 and can now try and chase down those up ahead. I think that might be a bit of a fruitless task though, because the top 4 seem to be in another league at the moment. They are absolutely miles ahead at this point, as Oliver is into the pits here at the end of lap 9 and off and away he goes. And Justify still with the lead of the race at this moment in time. Davidoff, Glenn and C. Faulkner keeping him on his toes at the moment. Less than 2 seconds covering the top 4 drivers at this moment in time. But Justify still leading this train of lead cars right now. And Glenn, the pole sitter, as we said earlier on, needs to win tonight to guarantee the championship. If he comes second, he might be able to wrap it up. He's 86 points clear. So if he comes second and it's not Davidoff that wins, he'd also win the championship. There's a few caveats to this. I think if he comes second and Davidoff does win, then as long as Davidoff doesn't get the fastest lap, then Glenn will also be champion, I think. If he can be 79 points clear after tonight, the championship's done, because there's 26 points available per round. Obviously, win and fastest lap times 3 is 78. So if he's 79 points clear with 3 races left, that would be the championship in the bag. He's 86 ahead. If Davidoff were to gain 7 points by winning the race and Glenn were to finish second, that would mean the gap is 79 points. So basically, Glenn would need to finish third or lower, or Davidoff would need to get the fastest lap and the win. A lot of different, terms and conditions that must be met for this to happen. But nonetheless, we're coming into the final part of the lap here on lap 11 of this Brazilian Grand Prix here at the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. Justify looking a bit more comfortable out the front this time, although Davidoff's still more than close enough to put him under some pressure here coming down towards turn 1, as Justify now goes to the fence to the inside line. Davidoff trying to go around the long way here into turn 1. That's not going to happen. Justify's got that covered off for the time being and holds on coming through the centre S's. So Justify still maintaining the lead for the time being. Let's see how they come down the little straight towards turn 5. Here comes Davidoff, looking to go around the outside. Can he make this move stick? I think he has done it there. Brilliant stuff there from Davidoff. As Justify there goes, sorry, it was Clen that was out wide there. As C. Fortin looking to try and pick him off through the next sequence of corners. Clen's on the inside there for turn 6 and manages to keep onto third place there by the skin of his teeth. But Clen got a bit out of shape there, and I was unable to really make the most of Justify being tight on the inside line going through turn 4. So for the time being, Justify holds on to second place. Davidoff is still your leader, having taken the lead a few corners ago. But obviously the DRS is going to play absolute chaos here. So here they come once again. Davidoff here with just under a second of a gap here to Justify as they begin lap 13 of the race. And you see they've all got DRS on each other, but nobody really close enough to put the car in front under any significant pressure at the moment. Oh no, Street Boy's pinned it into the wall. Looks like he hasn't written the car off, so I think it's just going to be double wave yellow flags here. No safety car. Street Boy's able to continue on in the race. In fact, he's barely got any damage. He's got the front left end plate is missing, but yeah, apart from that, he's managed to keep that in very good nick there. So Street Boy will, I imagine, be into the pits at the end of this lap, but it's not ideal. He was battling for some very good points there, was fighting with his teammate for P5 and 6, but Rexy Boy's now left all by himself here in 5th place. He's 3 seconds clear of G.C. who was in that fight with him earlier on. He's now got his mirrors full of a Mercedes in the shape of T. He'll be looking to pile that pressure on for 6th place pretty shortly, you would have thought. Let's go back to the leaders though, because there's still a 4-car train here fighting for the win here tonight in Brazil. And Justify still keeping Davidoff looking in those mirrors, still a little bit too far away into turn 1. Davidoff will be taking solace from that at this point in the race. Clen is right there with them as they come on the exit of turn 3. And Justify there with the DRS making the move on Davidoff into 4, so he's back up into the lead now as T's got a 3-second time penalty there for track limits, which is well, he's just got ahead of G.C. but he had to do some track limits to get that move done. So T in P6 now, but needs to get a bit down the road here if he's to have a chance of getting that position on the classification. But still plenty of time in this race, still 22 laps left here, so still plenty of time for him to get that one done. As Street Boy is coming out of the pits now, he's put some tyres on, I would have thought. Yeah, medium tyres for Street Boy, eh? That's a bit ballsy, isn't it? Well, let's see how that pans out. It's a long way to go on a set of mediums, I'll tell you that. But anyway, leaders all started on the mediums. Oh, and Davidoff's in. So Davidoff will be putting the hard tyres on. And I imagine one stopping, you would think. So he's going for the undercut here, is Davidoff. Bit of an early pit stop, but then again, I suppose when you're in a 4-car battle for the lead, the undercut could really work wonders. So it's a good pit stop there from the Williams crew. He's off and away now. So let's see what Davidoff can do here on his outlap, because this could be pivotal to who wins this race. He's got some traffic here, I think. Or is he going to come out ahead of the traffic? Yeah, he's just behind White Shadow. So that's not gone perfectly there for Davidoff, I have to say. He'll be hoping that he can be on the back of him coming through the DRS zone. Because, yeah, I mean, he might be on the back of him before that. So this might not have worked out as well for Davidoff as it potentially could have. But Justify still leading the race. Does Justify and Clen pull the trigger and decide to cover Davidoff off here for this race win? C4 has just dropped off of them a little bit here in 3rd place, has fallen out of that DRS. So here come the leaders then. Justify staying out, Clen's coming in. So he's immediately going to cover Davidoff off here. Davidoff is all over the back of White Shadow as they come through the final corner. He'll now get DRS down the straight as well. So where's... Oh, and C4 has come in as well. He's followed Clen in. So let's see where these guys come out in relation to Davidoff, because he's tried the undercut here. He's put the hard tyres on a lap earlier. He would have got the benefit of fresh tyres on that outlap, but he's been behind White Shadow for the majority of this lap here. So let's jump on board with the Williams driver. Where is he? He's coming through the centre S's now. Oh, it's going to be tight here. It's going to be very, very tight. Who's going to come out ahead? On board with Davidoff. Clen's there. Clen's on the left-hand side of Davidoff there. He's just come out ahead of him. So Davidoff there's come out in 4th place right on the back of Clen. He's got 1 lap older tyres. That's not really going to make too much of a difference here in terms of overall pace. C40 manages to clear White Shadow there and is running in 5th place. But the crucial thing here is that Clen has managed to cover Davidoff off here and has stayed in track position. So as things stand in this race, will be taking his maiden Purple Sector F1 crown tonight, if he can stay where he is at this moment in time. So Justify, the last of the lead pack to come in. Now, is that extra lap going to have cost him here? Because a lap on worn tyres, unless he's managed to keep those tyres in good nick and has absolutely drained them on this lap, you would think he's probably going to lose out to these guys. Here we go then. So Clen coming down the start, finish straight over the line. He's got Davidoff right behind him there as they go into turn 1. And Davidoff's down the inside. Oh, look at that. He threw one down the inside to Davidoff and up into track position. We know that for sure. Where is it going to be? It's going to be ahead of Justify by the looks of it, because Justify, with staying out that extra lap, has lost out. But no surprise there. He'll have a bit of fresher tyres, but ultimately he's lost out here. And Davidoff into the net lead. T's still out there on track, having started on the hard tyres. So, in fact, no, actually he didn't start on the hard tyres. He came in on lap 1, didn't he? Yeah, he has come in. He came in on lap 1, so he might try and go to the end here on these hard tyres, but he's certainly going to be overhauled by these guys who are running behind him. That's, I think, for sure. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, T might be trying to go to the end, but I think the best he can hope for is 5th in this race, because the likes of Davidoff, Clen, Justify and C Formula are going to have a lot of pace on him. They're on 12, 13 lap fresher tyres, so the likelihood of T being able to keep them behind is very slim, I would say. Let's see how they come then. So Clen has made the move on Davidoff into turn 1, up into the net lead of the race, obviously second on the track at the moment. So these two currently chopping and changing right now out the front, as they have done throughout the course of the race so far. G.Cedar's moved out of Oliver up into P7, although Oliver's trying to keep it around the outside there, and he can't do it. G.Cedar, oh, he's got off onto the grass there with a bit of a moment, and Oliver's, wasn't perfect through the center S's himself, but has held on to 7th place nonetheless. G.Cedar there dropping off at the back of him a little bit, as T still holds on to the lead of this race at the moment. Clen is just about keeping within a second at the moment. Davidoff and Justify there right on the back of these, with C Fortner still very much in this fight, albeit C Fortner has got a 3-second penalty, which will definitely be debilitating for his hopes of getting onto the podium here tonight. So T here leading the race, but it's going to be a sitting duck here. Clen's already made the move over the line here to start lap 19. Halfway point here in this race. Clen, our potential champion-elect here, hits the front. And T's now going to have to watch out, because Davidoff, Justify and C Fortner are going to be looking to follow suit here on the Red Bull Championship leader. But Davidoff a little bit too far away. And obviously T had DRS there to defend, because Clen was within a second in front of him. So that was just giving a bit of a reprieve there, but it's not going to last long, because now Davidoff's going to really attack it through the infield section of this Interlagos circuit. As I've just got to very, very quickly jump away, guys, because my nan's just calling me, and I am currently the only person here with her, so I'm just going to be back in a second. Hold on. do apologise for that, guys. I just had to quickly duck out and see what my nan wants. Currently, my granddad's in hospital, so just it's only me here at the moment looking after her. So just got to make sure she's all good. You know how it is. But nonetheless, Clen's managed to pull out a 2-second gap here over Justify, so he's looking a lot more comfortable right now, is Clen. And yeah, he's managed to really get the hammer down. Obviously, T was the one who was had the pack behind him. I wonder whether the other guys got held up a bit behind T, because Clen really managed to pull out that gap whilst T was in the midst of that battle. T obviously on those worn tyres, but the others have managed to make their way through nonetheless. But Clen has got 2 seconds back to the other three, Justified, Davidoff and C. Faulkner here, so it's clearly worked out very well for our championship leader. Obviously, T's coming in for a fresh set of medium tyres, so looking like he's, well, maybe going for fastest lap, but certainly going for a nice speedy finish to the race, which is understandable. So White Shadow has picked up another penalty here for track limits, which is going to be a real frustrating one for him. You just see T in the foreground there, warming up his tyres, going down the straight down towards turn 4. Trying to get as much heat into them as he possibly can. And continues to extend the gap here over the others. Now he's managed to break the DRS. He could be in a really strong position here to assert what is clearly a bit of an affinity here with this Interlagos circuit. We see Davidoff here getting close to the back of Justify. He's going to make the move down the inside into turn 1. And Davidoff there goes a little bit wide, and Justified gets the cut back beautifully there. Manages to swoop back around the outside. Fantastic racing there from Justify. Managed to actually preempt what happened there beautifully. As Davidoff here is going to look to the inside into turn 5, a little bit too far away. Turn 4, whatever, I've lost count. And yeah, Justify manages to hold on to second place there. Davidoff has now got Steve Fortin looking to try and knock him while he's down here. But C. Fortnite is going to have to just tuck in for the time being here. Oh, Ice Wolf just left the session. I thought it was... I didn't realise he was still here. Anyway, here come the guys battling for the podiums. Davidoff a little bit too far away on Justified's tail line. There's C. Faulkner with his time penalty there. Will certainly be causing him a few headaches because he won't be able to get onto the podium unless he's able to somehow get ahead of these two and pull out a 3-second gap. We see Justified has got Davidoff down the inside there. Davidoff making that move there on Justified into turn 4 with a nice move there down the inside. Once again, the DRS proving to be pretty darn strong around this circuit. And all the time, whilst these guys battled it out, they are losing time to the race leader, Clen, who is looking to inch that little bit closer to a championship here at the Purple Sector Formula 1 League. I said at the start, all he needs is to win the race to secure the championship. Right now, he's doing exactly that. Doesn't matter how high up Davidoff is able to finish here. If Clen wins the race, that is it. It is game over. So Clen doing an absolutely phenomenal job here so far. Oh, Street Boy's out of the race, and he's crashed. So that's brought out the safety car here. This could be a dramatic end to this race. Now that's going to make a difficult decision for these guys, because the top four have all got a free pit stop to P5. So all of them know that they're going to come out in P4 at worst if they come in now. It's a no-brainer for C. Faulkner. What about the others? Let's see who comes into the pits for a fresh set of tyres. Clen's coming in. Davidoff's coming in as well. Justify coming in, and C. Faulkner coming in. So they're all coming in. Those who have got 10-second penalties are going to win the lottery here. I don't know if anybody has. But if they do, then they can serve that penalty and then start the race as if it was beginning again under the safety car. Here we go then. So, soft tyres on for C. Faulkner. Bit of a risk there. Those tyres are going to be shredded by the end. The others playing it safe and going for the mediums. This is essentially now a sprint race. It's basically the same as... Well, actually, Brazil is a sprint race, so this is actually familiar territory here. We're essentially doing a sprint race. It's going to be about 9 laps. C. Faulkner's gone for the softs. He's gone for the risky strategy. The others have gone for the more... Yeah, you know, they've played the safe card. They've gone for the medium tyres, which are guaranteed to get to the end. C. Faulkner will have better pace, or will have better grip in the first part of the stint. And towards the end of the stint, those tyres will drop away, and the likes of Glenn, Davidoff and Justified will have a lot more confidence in these last couple of laps. C. Faulkner will be sliding around everywhere towards the end of the race, but in the first part of the stint, he will have the advantage. Saying that, he has got a 3-second time penalty, which could be a big issue here for him. Here we go then, guys. We have a sprint finish here at Interlagos for round 21 of 24 here for season 12 here at the Purple Sector F1 League. Could this be the moment where we see Glenn crowned the champion of season 12, or is Davidoff going to pull off some sort of rescue mission here to keep the championship rolling over until Thursday night at least? Here we go. Coming into turn 1, Oliver's got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane during the safety car period, so he is going to, well, he was running in 9th place. Whatever positions he gains, it's going to be a futile effort here for him, as he's already been into the pits to serve that penalty. In the meantime, Glenn leading coming down towards turn 4, and he's got Davidoff right behind him here. They've managed to gap C. Faulkner a bit, who was sleeping off at the start on those soft tyres, or rather it was actually Justified who was sleeping off at the start, and C. Faulkner has managed to pick him off into 3rd place as a result of that. Rexy Boy there running behind them ahead of G.C. with T running in P7. There's White Shadow and Oliver way behind, having done that 10-second penalty, and it's effectively been a stop-go penalty is what he's done there. So Oliver down in P9 and well off for the rest of them here. But Glenn here leading the race, Davidoff right on the back of him. Neither of these two with any penalties. Justify also with no penalties, but is running behind C. Faulkner at the moment, so would be requiring to get ahead of him at least in order to be able to challenge the top two. We see here T's moved ahead of G.C. up into P6 as they're coming up towards the line here to complete lap 28 of the race. Glenn here has just been pipped to the fastest lap there by Davidoff. He did the fastest lap, and then Davidoff went and plumbed in the fastest lap. These guys on fresh tyres, showing the way at the moment. The gap's just over a second here to C. Faulkner. Did C. Faulkner manage to get within a second at the DRS detection point? No, he didn't. That rear wing is decidedly closed there for the RB car of C. Faulkner there, so has not managed to cling on to them. But Glenn and Davidoff have got this between themselves now, because Justify has got a 3-second penalty. So Justify has got done for, obviously has hit the 3 limit in terms of the warnings for the track limits. So that now leaves it between these two to fight it out for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And that all but secures Glenn's championship here, because that's going to prevent C. Faulkner or Justify from being able to finish ahead of Davidoff. Or rather, to be able to finish ahead of either of these two out the front, which means that Glenn is very unlikely to finish lower than second in this race. So unless Davidoff can get the fastest lap, which actually, do you know what? He has actually got the fastest lap at the moment. So you know what? It might not be over yet, but nonetheless, to come over the line here to complete lap 29, we've got 7 laps left to go, and Justified as the fastest lap in the race there, and Glenn has now been passed again there by Davidoff. So Davidoff now hits the front here at the beginning of lap 30, and we come through on the exit of the centre S's once again. But Davidoff has a slender lead over Glenn once again here. What a race, what a night it's turning out to be here. This potential championship decider. As we see T has moved ahead of G.C, but G.C not giving up here, keeping it around the outside of turn 5, and may have a chance here to make the move into 6 on the inside. No, T managed to keep it around the outside beautifully there and holds on to 6th place. As we see Oliver with another 3-second penalty there for track limits. He is racking up them 3-second penalties like no tomorrow at the moment. As Glenn here is still on the back of Davidoff right now in this fight for the lead of the race. Only half a second between these two at this point as they come up the hill once again. So here they come then over the line to start lap 31. Glenn here getting close to the back of Davidoff, but a little bit too far away there into turn 1. CT there looking to the outside of Rexy Boy as well, but just a little bit too far away at this point. Justified looks pretty close here at the back of C. Faulkner as they come through this final corner. Glenn, though, has got a fantastic run on Davidoff and is going to make the move once again here as they come down towards turn 1. So Glenn once again in championship taking position. But I think the fastest lap is currently being held by Justify. And the longer this stint goes on, the less likely it is that we're going to be seeing any improvements to that fastest lap, because, as we all know, Pirelli tyres degrade at a rapid rate. And yeah, basically the first part of the stint is the only time where you can really bank on being able to set a fastest lap. As the stint goes on, it's going to get harder and harder. So I believe that fastest lap being held by Justify. Let's just have a quick look. Yeah, Justify currently got the fastest lap. So as things stand, Glenn only needs to finish in 2nd place, and he is the champion for season 12 here at Pebble Sector. So even if Davidoff were to get ahead of him, at this point, Glenn would be the champion. Davidoff would need to have the fastest lap in order to keep the championship alive if he finishes in first and Klen comes second. So all of the odds are currently in Klen's favour at the moment as we come over the line here. And Davidoff here making a move for the lead into turn one. That's job done once again there for him. But as I said before, that's not going to be enough. At this moment in time, Klen will be the champion if he can stay where he is. Back to the battle here for fifth place. Currently T leading Rexy Boy and G.C. as Rex looking to the inside, but a little bit too far away there on T. I had to think about it, but just wasn't quite close enough to make that one happen. G.C. waiting in the wings there behind these two, hoping that if these two trip over each other, he'll be there to feast on the scrap. These soft tyres are going to be starting to feel a little bit of the pace now. Likewise, C Faulkner, also G.C. and White Shadow Hole. So Rexy Boy, I think, is in the prime position to take the best of the rest crown here tonight. P5, top four, as we so often say, the league of their own. C Faulkner has certainly joined that elite club of drivers. Matty Pitt, obviously a member of that, top echelon here at Purple Sector. I'd say Freddie also on his day can definitely challenge them as Rexy Boy's moved out of T as we come down towards turn one. Back up into fifth place goes Rexy Boy, and I reckon that those medium tyres will be able to propel him to 10 championship points here tonight, as barring any major catastrophes in the final couple of laps of this race. Let's go back to the battle for the lead here. Klen, Davidoff, C Faulkner and Justify. So we had oh no, and C Faulkner's made a big mistake there, and the soft tyres there really starting to be a big factor in the in his mistakes coming into play. C Faulkner there down to fourth place and has dropped well off at the back. He massively impeded Justify there as well as he was losing the car. Obviously, it's not an indiscretion. It's not it's not an incident, because essentially he lost it by himself, and no malice intended there from C Faulkner, but Justifies lost touch with the top two a little bit due to that, and Klen and Davidoff are going to battle this out over the final 2 laps of the race. Just double checking here that the fastest lap's still held by Justify, because that will mean that Klen is in the box seat here. He only needs to finish in second place and he's got the championship done. Davidoff can only keep the championship going to the next round if he can win and get the fastest lap. If Klen finishes in second place and Davidoff wins without the fastest lap, Klen is the champion. So currently, this man here, no pressure, could be about to become the season 12 champion here at Purple Sector if he can stay exactly where he is at the moment. He's done a phenomenal season here. Has taken more poles than anybody else in the second half of the season. I'm sure has the most poles out of anybody so far this season. Early in the season, Justified appeared to be the qualifying king, but in the last few races, Klen has had the pacing in qualifying, and he's certainly been the most consistent racer as well, and could be on the verge of taking the season 12 championship here. We'll be following in the footsteps of Matty Pitt, who couldn't be here tonight to see the handing over of the championship trophy, but nonetheless, I'm sure he'll be watching with keen interest, if not now, then later on. And here we go then, Klen looking to the inside, looking to be his successor. Here we go into turn one. Klen once again makes that position gain that we've seen so many times happen into turn one, with that DRS being as powerful as it is down that start-finish straight. Here we come down towards turn 4 again, and Judd Davidoff's going to try and return the favour here. He's got the slipstream, he's got the DRS, look to the outside now. Is he going to try and go around the long way here? Davidoff turns into the corner, gets it done beautifully there, back up into the lead, but Klen just needs to sit behind him until the end of the lap, and Klen will be the champion here at Purple Sector for season 12. As here we come then into the final few corners here of the final lap of the race here at Interlagos. And it's been a great Brazilian Grand Prix. These guys have put on a fantastic show out the front. C Faulkner dropping the back a little bit on those soft tyres now. We knew it was a bit of a risk for him. I guess he had to roll the dice with that penalty. He knew that it was a case of all in or all out. But here we are then, coming into the final corner here. Young Sal, this is the final proper braking zone. Now it's flat out onto the line. and Justify might be able to get ahead of Clen here, but Clen knows Justify's got that penalty. Davidoff is going to take the win on the track here at Brazil, but Clen is going to come over the line, and Clen is going to become the Purple Sector Formula One League champion here for season 12, I believe. And we're going to double check on this in a second, but I believe Clen is the season 12 champion. So congratulations to him. We see Justify over to complete the podium with C Fulton in 4th. Rexy Boy's going to come around to finish P5 ahead of G.C. in 6th. T's going to finish this one in 7th place here tonight. White Shadow Hole over in 8th, and Oliver in 9th place. So Davidoff gains 7 points, didn't get the fastest lap. The fastest lap went to Justify. So the gap was 86 points, I believe, before this. So yeah, 345 to 259, 86 points. Davidoff gained 7 points. The gap's 79 points with 78 left on the table. That is it. Clen, I believe, is the champion. So well done to Clen on taking the Season 12 championship here at Purple Sector. I believe this is, I don't want to say 100%, but we will confirm, obviously, in the next round of racing. It'll be on Thursday night for the Las Vegas Grand Prix. So, yeah, make sure you tune in for that, guys, for confirmation. But I'm pretty confident in saying that Clen is the champion for Season 12. So congratulations to Clen. Congratulations to Davidoff, who pushed a heck of a lot this season, but I'm sure he'll be back next season. And the likes of Justify, C. Faulkner could well be a contender next season with the pace that he's shown in the second half of this season. I'm sure Matty Pitt will be back gunning for to regain his title. There's plenty more drivers as well who are going to be up there fighting for it. So make sure you tune in on Thursday night, guys. Anyway, there's still plenty of racing to go, but I just want to say a premature and hesitant congratulations to Clen on who I believe is the champion here at Purple Sector for Season 12. Thanks everybody so much. We'll see you all on Thursday. Have a great rest of your evenings, and goodbye.